Unlike other assets, your app icon is the only creative that appears everywhere in the stores, in browse results, search results, and on the user's devices once they've installed your app. And being the only creative asset shown in Google Play search results, your Android icon is super important in attracting and appealing to store visitors. As a result, you should create an app icon that is recognizable and immediately grabs the user's attention. Your main goal is to not only design an app icon that's unique, but also to convey the essence of your app in a visually appealing way. Here are our expert tips to designing an optimized app icon. The first tip is to keep it simple. Find one element that captures the essence of your app or game and make it the focus of your icon. Avoid adding too many details so the icon doesn't become cluttered, and choose a simple background that puts emphasis on your focal point. Great examples of simple icons come from WAG, Spot Hero, and Motivation Daily Quotes. On the other hand, Rosetta Stone could maybe make its icon pop a bit more by simplifying the background and changing the colour to a solid yellow. Leverage your brand, that is, if it's well established. Netflix's app icon is just its brand logo. Pokemon Go displays the popular Pokeball in its icon. And Star Wars and FIFA leverage popular trademarks by adding their names to their icons. This practice allows strong brands to establish trust and helps users recognize the app by connecting it to a specific brand. If your brand or logo is not as globally well known, consider writing your brand name in the logo. A great example here can be seen with TripAdvisor or Babbel. Number 3. If your brand is not that well known, try to portray the purpose of your app or gameplay in the icon. Use graphic elements or illustrations that visually explain the essence of your app in a simple and intuitive way. The app's home workout and Amazon Kindle are great examples of this, as their icons provide context as to what the apps are about. For games, it can be very interesting to display the gameplay in the icon. By doing so, users are able to immediately understand what the game is about. For example, Bubble Pop and Color Planet's icons really portray the in-game experience well. The game Harry Potter Puzzles and Spells shows gameplay in a more subtle way. The icon features a Harry Potter character, and the gems displayed at the bottom represent the Match 3 gameplay. Tile Connect also aims to showcase gameplay through its icon. However, there is some room for improvement. For example, we notice that there isn't really one simple focal point. This makes the icon look a little cluttered, and it becomes more difficult to identify the specific type of gameplay. Tip 4. Be creative. Design an icon that stands out. Research the competition, analyze trends, and find creative ways to make your app stand out from the crowd. Spend some time researching the search results for your top priority keywords. For example, if most of the icons ranking at the top for one of your target keywords are colourful, consider using a monochrome palette. This also works the other way around, like here with Cody Cross. As we can see, the app stands out in the search results with a colourful icon, rather than the traditional black and white crossword design. So don't be afraid to do things differently, but make sure your icon always relates to your brand. The app Lose It is a great example of creativity, as they've used the existing icon shape to represent scales. TaskRabbit also has a very simple icon, but makes the icon stand out by aligning the text with the bottom edge of the shape. Next, make sure to utilize the full asset space so your artwork occupies the entire icon. Icons display quite small throughout the store. Make sure to fully optimize the space and avoid white borders, drop shadows, and too much text. Instead, utilize the background and try to make the icon bleed when possible. A great example is from Duolingo. Duolingo could have chosen to display its logo, the bird, on a white background, like this. Instead, the team has adapted its logo to fit within the dimensions of the icon. As a result, the icon is bright, provides contrast, and differentiates itself from competitors. Hotwire is an example of an app that doesn't utilize the full asset space. To increase contrast, the app could remove the white background, like this. Tip number 6. Design for dark mode. For the same reasons as explained in the previous video, It's important to design your icon for dark mode. Make sure your icon stands out on both a white background and a black background. For example, Blacklane's icon is just a square with 2 shades of black. The icon stands out on white backgrounds, but would be almost invisible on phones with dark mode settings enabled. Last but not least, adhere to Apple and Google's guidelines. Both stores recommend avoiding non-essential text like play or new. Google more specifically prohibits any text or graphical elements that indicate ranking. And don't use text or graphics to promote deals. Failing to adhere to Apple or Google's guidelines could result in your app updates not being approved. App icons might be small in size, but they can play a huge role in your app's success. They need to be memorable, unique, and to stick in the mind of users. So be sure to follow our guidelines to optimize your icon and maximize your chances of conversion success.